What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Metal Maniacs Podcast. I'm Jay Ingersoll, and on today's show, I welcome the band Fleeting Life. Before we get into that, please support our sponsor, Dave Stark at Stark Realty. They do real estate right, and you can click the link below to handle all your real estate needs. Also, my band, Iron Sharpens Iron, has an EP out right now called Split Personalities with the Mouthful of Locust Dudes, so check that out. If you want to get episodes early and bonus content, head over to Patreon and join us there. You can join our Discord if you want to be part of the conversation and give us feedback or give us ideas for episodes. And as always, please subscribe if you're watching on YouTube or follow us on Spotify. But going into this, Fleeting Life dudes kind of came across the board. Jeff, you'll notice he's here. He's going to help us out a little bit on the show here and there just to come through as a guest host. I'm going to have a lot of different guest hosts probably, but you'll see him as a staple. But he lined this up for me, and it was cool talking to these guys and meeting these guys. I just kind of came across their stuff, and they're really a band that's going to be out there doing things. So enjoy the conversation with Fleeting Life. All right, so Fleeting Life, welcome to the Metal Maniacs Podcast.
Good to be here.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, appreciate you all coming through. I know you kind of had some drives, and we can get into that. But before we get started, you want to just so people get acclimated with the voices, say what you do in the band, say your name, what you do in the band.
I'm Steve. I play guitar for Fleeting Life.
I am Sear. I'm the rhythm guitarist.
And I am Logan. Oh my God. I'm Logan, and I do vocals.
Okay, cool. Well, like I said, thanks, guys, for coming out. I know Steve's the only Muskegon resident, so you said you live where, Logan?
I live in Leonidas, Michigan, which is it's about like 2.5 hours from here.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow. I didn't think it was that far away.
It's pretty
goodness.
far.
And then, Sear, you're in Kazoo, so you got an hour and a half.
Well, it was about an hour to get here. Yeah.
Sure.
So I'm a little north of Kalamazoo.
Awesome. Well, again, thank you guys so much for fucking coming on the show. I checked y'all's stuff out. I know Jeff kind of set up the interview with you guys. Jeff, he's helping out with the show. Sometimes we'll be a co-host and do some things with the show. So we'll have different people in the seat sometimes, but he helps out, books the show, and he had you guys' name been coming across the board. You know, obviously I discover all kinds of bands through the podcast and everything, and I've been seeing your name. And then, of course, I know Steven. I'll see him out and about occasionally. Actually, our bands have played together before when he was in Harrogana, so we kind of had some history. I know this dude fucking can play his ass off, so when he said he was in a new band, I was very interested to hear what it was. And then I think the last time we talked, you had just joined this band.
Yes.
Yeah, so he was telling me about it. And then, of course, Steve from Michigan Metal Fest, he's the homie. And I know you guys did a show with them, and then you guys are about to do the Brutal Fest?
Yeah, we're playing Brutal next month.
Okay, cool. So we'll talk about that, too. So that's kind of how you guys came across my desk, so to speak. And so I started diving into your catalog, but you want to just give me a history of the band and how it started? I was hearing things through the singles leading up to the EP, but I just want to know if my inclinations are correct. So, whoever wants to start?
It's kind of like the band really started getting serious about the beginning of last year. Beforehand, it was kind of like the band's been making music for 4-ish years, you know? But it was like me and producer, a couple people would come and go, you know? But it really started like we got our drummer Ryan. And that's when like I went to New York for the first time to record with Robbie. And that's when we started getting everybody like all together, you know. Jordan was here a little bit before that. Steve joined after, you know.
Yeah.
But so it really started like seriously started beginning of last year.
Logan, I found Logan on Bandmix because at the time I was bored out of my mind and I was looking for, you know, some music avenues. Found him on Bandmix, and my kind of musical background, I was not a metal musician. I was just I was a wannabe metal musician.
Okay, sure.
And so
we all started there.
But I had another outfit it's called Chandler Reed and the Sticky Keys. that was piano pop, piano rock, and so we've got a couple of music videos and stuff on Spotify.
Okay.
But I've been a part of that band for like 8 years, and we're still kind of going today. But it's like I've always wanted to play metal, always wanted to do this. I reached out to Logan, we met at freaking Red Robin.
Greatest
And
place on planet Earth.
I told Logan, I'm like, metal musician, I am not. He's like, bro, you can do this. And so he was very encouraging. And then I was in a group chat for like a year and a half. I didn't do anything.
I was always trying, but it's like, you got to find the right people,
Sure.
And all those people that were in there before are my friends, good people. good
Absolutely.
dudes. But, it's just like there's a certain level of like commitment that all of this takes, and people got their own lives. They got their own stuff going on.
Absolutely.
There were a few people who came and went out of that group chat, and I just kept getting more nervous and nervous. I'm like, man, are we ever going to get together to practice?
Yeah,
Like I want to play this stuff.
I mean, we all know a bunch of musicians, but we're like, oh, that guy used to do this, or that guy used to do that, or he kind of does this. Oh, now he's got a kid and a family, and you know what I mean? Then it turns into like, we all want to do it, but can you actually commit to actually doing it and making the time, being serious?
But I was very persistent, always looking, because like really the hardest thing, which I'm sure you get it as musicians, is finding a drummer.
Yeah,
oh, absolutely.
Ryan.
That's why they're all playing 5 fucking
hilarious.
bands.
Yeah,
so
if you've listened to our songs, it was before I went out to New York, right? And I was sitting there. Ryan is like a good friend of mine. I met him through another friend of mine, and we'd hang out and play D&D together. Well, one time we're playing D&D. It's like 2 weeks before I go out to New York for the first time. I'll get into it.
Sure.
Anyways, and Ryan, I'm showing him Vampire. I'm like, yeah, this is the song, and I was showing him the instrumental. And like normally people are like, when they're like drumming to something and they don't drum, they're just,
Yeah.
But he's sitting there, he's like, and I was like, do you drum? And he's like,
And like, you've known him for like 6 years or some shit like that.
I had no idea.
This fucker has been holding out on.
No shit.
I told him, I was
Best kept secret.
well, because he hadn't done it for a while. He was kind of like off and on with it. And I was just like, dude, honestly, man, if you join this band, like it would be a band full of homies. It would be so cool.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I want you to think on it, but it would be really sick.
Absolutely.
And he, he's like, I'll think on it. Not even a day or two later, he's like, I'm in.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, ever since like Ryan joined the band, it became very quick. Cool, we got a drummer, we got everybody we need. Let's get together.
And then Steve came along.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was at the gym one day. I was just scrolling through Facebook. I was like, all right, I see this band looking for a guitar player. And I really wasn't looking for a band, but I saw like all the progress that the band has made and the fact that it was a band actually doing stuff. And I was like, you know what? What the hell? I might as well see what they're all about. Me and Logan started talking, going back and forth. And I coined it over for a little bit. And I was like, all right, I'll fuck with you guys.
Yeah, it's a real funny story too, because he like messaged me. He's like, yeah, I'm just looking for musicians, and like I was like, yeah, that's cool. Do you have any videos of you playing or anything? He's like, yeah, check out my Instagram.
Son of a bitch.
And I click on it. He's like,
Yeah.
I was like,
Logan showed me that video.
You're in.
Yeah,
Logan showed me that
fucking
video.
sick, dude. I know. I've always been impressed by him, and then seeing his videos and shit. I'm like, man, I need to practice.
Y'all are too kind.
This motherfucker.
I know. I was just like, yep, you're in.
That's awesome. Yeah. So when you say in my mind, this is kind of what I was envisioning. This is kind of started with you then. And then on these early ones, are you playing Sear on like the leveling up that came out in 2021? So who's playing guitar and shit? Or do you do more than just vocals?
Originally, the original days, we had a producer. His name is Alex, works at Dark Lake Studios. And it was mainly me and him like doing stuff together, but mainly like I would have little ideas, send them over to him, So the like OG stuff is mostly like not all ghost written. Like I wrote some parts,
Okay.
But this new like EP and stuff like that is a lot different in that regard.
Absolutely.
It was more so because the band joined after most of these songs like were done.
Okay.
So Robbie is our producer of Saving Vice. I don't know if you know Saving Vice.
No, not familiar.
But him and I worked together on this EP before everybody, like pretty much like once we started at the beginning of last year, everything was already like started.
Okay.
So next, like we're getting ready to go to the studio in at the end of July, and it will be all of us together
okay,
doing stuff,
cool. Sick. So kind of just where did your ideas come from then, as far as like wanting to do this style of music, which is metal adjacent, metalcore, heavy metal, whatever you want to call it?
It really, ever since I was a kid, because like it really started like if I had to say my biggest influence, it'd be Motionless in White. You know?
Sure.
But like when I found like Immaculate Misconception in high school, I was like, this is the coolest thing I ever heard. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And I just went down the whole rabbit hole of metalcore, and it's always been a genre that like I feel like you can't really be as raw as you can in metalcore. Like you can really like say what's on your mind, get the things out.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Where like other like of course you can in other genres too, but it just feels more raw in metalcore.
Yeah, so I know, so kind of what I'm picking up is like it's more of an expression for you. I know
100%.
Music is an expression anyway, the old adage, right? But like for you, it was just like, I want to figure out how to express myself. So then that's why you lean into vocals, basically, and writing.
Yep.
Okay.
No, it's a lot more, because I always say this, it's a lot more about like other people than it is myself.
Sure.
Like when we release a song, right? It's a lot more. It's no longer my song, right?
Yeah,
our song. I'm sorry.
Sure.
It's all of our songs.
I got you.
All the people's songs. I'm so tired. I'm sorry.
I understand what you said.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
But so like to show people like Skull, for example, like the song's really raw. The song's really like wow.
Yeah.
But I've had quite a few people reach out to us and be like, dude, this found me at the right time. Like I really feel that. And like, because when I was a kid, music, that's what music was to me. It was people. Like I would hear what people were going through and be like, I'm going through that.
Sure.
It made me feel not alone in the world. So to be able to like pass that on is like a beautiful thing that we get to do.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, because like I was telling Jeff too, because we're kind of talking about the band, before you guys came in or whatever, and you have all these singles leading up to the EP, and we'll focus more on the EP because I know it involves all you guys, and then we'll focus on the future as well. But just with some of these singles, I've noticed that it's like each one kind of features somebody else. Like it always says like featuring someone else.
Well,
in
there are
the
3
song,
tracks
right?
that feature other artists.
Yeah.
On the. Or well, go
like
ahead.
the singles or whatever, and then there's like the Freddy Krueger one that's a different mix kind of thing, right?
So, and
then you have the Synthetic Love. Obviously, there's a bunch of synths and shit going on in there. I'm assuming that's not you fucking programming the synths, right?
No.
So
I'd say I've gotten better at it over the years, but at that time, no, it was not me.
Absolutely.
But what was the question?
I'm sorry. I mean, like leveling up. There's female vocals on there.
That's awesome that you. Yeah, no, it's a Chugga Boom. So it's the vocalist.
Okay,
of Chugga Boom,
so
Levi.
see, when I look up the song, it says featuring.
Yeah.
Blah blah
so
blah.
So everything.
Was there Taylor or Tyler or something like that?
Yeah.
Sure.
The first leveling up has Levi Torres of Chugga Boom.
Okay, sure.
Would You Kindly has Tyler Small from Saving Vice.
Okay, sure. All right.
But yeah, so everything before this EP, like we have, I don't know how many songs are up there now, but before the EP that dropped like last month, everything before that was singles. Like we never had like an EP or anything like that.
And a lot of that was just the producer guy and you putting stuff together, and then in and out people. That's okay, cool. And then these guys start coming in on the new shit. Now, you said a lot of it was written, so you guys are just learning what he did, or
and they've added like on the old stuff, live it's way different, like because it was a pretty rudimentary, and so like Steve being Steve, he's got a bunch of new lead parts in all the songs. Jordan spiced up some of the riffs as well.
The intro to Synthetic in particular is kind of. It's a hype moment for a live show. Like Logan will get up there and be like, "What's up?" And like get everybody going. But like it's all synths and bass, and so Steve and I aren't doing anything unless we came up with something. And so, if you come to one of our live shows, you'll get a different experience than you would just listening to the
singles.
So no one's doing live synth.
No. Those are all prod tracks. They're run through a computer and stuff, and it's. Yeah,
my brother originally was talking about wanting to do guitar for the band, which I think would be sick, but he'd have to like get to a point to be able to do it. But I think that'd be rad. Doing those synthetic, like, that'd be so cool.
So we're playing through backing tracks live.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, to a click track and everything.
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. Oh yeah. What does that rig look like?
So yeah, I built that thing.
Okay. I'm always interested in these stories because they always just give me fucking anxiety. When I hear about
Well, yeah, it gives me anxiety too. So
good, I'm not the only one.
So we have a 12-unit rack. It's got a power conditioner in it, and then an XR18 mixer that handles our in-ears, our in-ear mixes. That goes to a splitter, and the guitars go into Focusrite 18i20 interface into Logan's MacBook, and then out also through the interface to the splitter. And that setup allows the prod tracks to hit the front of house, all the guitars to hit the front of house, everything to hit the front of house. We just show up, we open the thing up and hand the sound guy tails, and just like, hey, here's Logan, here's Jordan, here's Calen, here's the prod tracks, and then he's like when we roll up, the sound guy is like, you guys are amazing. Everything is labeled. My life is easy. It's all good.
Sure.
Yeah.
Friday, literally, the sound guy was like, looking at the other guys. He's like, you see how theirs is labeled? Like, he was showing him our thing.
But I put a lot of hours into getting that thing right, and then it's also got our in-ears in it too, which we use Fenix. We use 2 in-ear rigs. The one is a Fenix Pro. I think it's an ST33 and then an ST22.
Okay.
And so we have a, and then he uses a Sennheiser in-ear rig himself that's also mounted. And he's got a wireless setup. I don't have a wireless yet, but I'm working on it.
Okay.
So, and it's very cool, but it makes me so nervous because we do have one point of failure that if it breaks, then we're dead in the water.
Right.
And that's Logan's computer.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Because the interface is actually handling all of our tones and all of our stuff. So we use amp plugins live.
Okay.
Which is really nice. It sounds really good, and we can automate all of the changes because we play in like 4 different tunings.
Okay.
So I don't have to worry about pushing a pedal. Our first couple shows we did do that. I had a pedal.
They were bringing that up the other day. I was like, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Our first couple of shows, I had a pedal that had like 6 different presets on it for each song. And if I hit the wrong button, then I'm like, oh, Jordan's playing a clean tone now. And it's which actually happened at one of our shows, and I had to reboot the whole pedal right in the middle of the song. It was our first time playing that song live. Yeah. And to compound that song also gave me nightmares, and that was Advent because it's such a hard freaking song. And so, but now Steve and I can just focus on playing. All the changes happen, like his time base effects, all the delays and the reverbs and the like he just goes wild with it. But in addition to Logan's computer, we also have what's called a doomsday rig that I've put a lot of time into too. So if Logan's computer decides to take a shit, which it did do one of our shows,
I'm sure you'll ask about horror stories, and we'll get there.
Yeah. We can just whip that computer out, plug it right in, and we should be good to go.
Okay, cool. At least you got some backup thing. That's why it always gives 100%. Me anxiety. I'm the old guy where we just plug in some amps and fucking let it fly. I wish I could do the other thing, but like it is so much time, energy, effort, money to
100%.
put our in-ear rig together and all that. And my band we're just some dudes that just want to jam.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love pushing air. I love pushing air. I love.
I was gonna say there's no right or wrong way to do it.
No, absolutely. But
we're just a prod track heavy band, so like we need it.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I noticed in a lot of the singles, even the new EP or whatever. There's just a lot of other shit going on, melodies that almost carry over into some of the things, and we'll break down this EP as we go. I won't spend so much time on the older stuff just because I know these guys weren't so involved.
I was gonna say, and I also, it's been so long, I don't remember a lot of like the process of like going through the older stuff.
Sure, absolutely. That's totally fine. I will commend you on like each song has kind of a different vibe of that old stuff though. You know, one's got synth, one's got girl vocals, one's got some rapper shit, one's got some EDM. I'm like, that's cool to me because at least you're giving out some different spices and some different vibes.
My philosophy,
just having the same,
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead,
but my philosophy has always been like, even when writing the old stuff, I always wanted to stick to metalcore but do different versions of it. You know, so like even on the new EP, when I told Robbie that's how, I like to rock things, which is why even the new EP, every song sounds different. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And that's ultimately the goal. Is I like I don't know. I like to to try everything. You know what I mean? And sticking to one thing can kind of get boring really quick.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I guess the only downfall with that, when you're only putting out singles, sometimes you might just hear one single and you don't really know what you're going to get either.
That is true.
Your vocals are awesome, man, because they carry through, like when you do your screams and your lows and the singing and stuff, like that's at least a common theme all the way through the older stuff too. So like you do have that common thing going on.
I appreciate that,
but
Thank you.
But I feel like going forward and then like the actual Perma Death EP, the band took leaps and bounds of a jump, I can tell.
100%.
And so in my mind, that's why I wanted to ask about the history of the band, is because to me I was telling Jeff, I was like, it sounded like kind of like a solo project a little bit. And then it sounded like maybe when Steve and that kind of came around, all of a sudden now we're a band, because we got a lot of different sounds and a lot of different shit happening here.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I wasn't wrong about that. I do like the Your Eyes song too, with the acoustic. You know,
we
know
we
that's
hear about
before
that. We hear about that one a lot, to be honest.
And then there's some more double bass and shit in that one too.
The
so
end of
it
that
gets
song
pretty
is
heavy.
wild.
Yeah, the end of that song, I don't even know if it's like humanly possible.
Well, my question was, is it real?
No, it is not. No, it is not.
Because I was like, holy fuck, that double bass is like 300 BPM. I was like, damn, I get it, but shit.
No.
So yeah, let's talk about this EP. It came out April 3rd, 2026. The other thing I noticed about, so the band is called Fleeting Life?
Correct.
Okay. Because when I look up the band on Amazon, I have to.
Fleeting
Life.
I know.
I said something about that.
There's so many big. Okay, so the reason that is the way that it is because originally the band had a different name. It was Severed Ties.
Okay.
And then like it was spelt different, but I found out because I wanted that band name since I was a kid,
Severed Ties?
Yeah.
Okay.
But then like, I would check every like 2 years. Cool, band doesn't exist. Awesome. You know what I mean? And then like about 3 months before Leveling Up came out, which was the first song, Severed Ties, like, essentially they started had been abandoned, started putting on Spotify or whatever it might have been.
Yeah.
But I remember being like it was like 6 months later, I already dropped 3 songs. And my aunt's like, there's a band called Severed Ties. I was like, no, there's not.
Like I checked 3 months ago.
Yeah, exactly. And then like I looked it up. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, so went to the drawing board on band names and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Had a big list. It was a huge list of like all these different band names. And Fleeting Life is the one that like made the most sense, stuck the best. So
yeah. Hey, just real quick, wanted to jump in here and remind you guys that if you wanted bonus episodes or early ad-free episodes, you can join us on the Patreon. You can also join our Discord to be a part of the conversation, send us questions, and give us ideas for shows. And always, please subscribe to the channel if you're watching on YouTube, or if you're listening on your favorite platform, please give us 5 stars and tell us why you like the show. And always share with a friend, and we appreciate it. Much love. But why the Fleeting Life?
Oh, well, sorry. The reason I bring that up is because so we changed our band name and like it messed it up on like everything. So periodically I find out there's a new service that did something weird.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's where so essentially like I'll have to email them, get it fixed. I remember there's so much things that are going on. Like people will tell me and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll get right on that. And I got to finish this thing. And then my ADHD ass just forgets about it.
I understand. Hey, I do a podcast. I understand how many fucking things there is to do. And playing a band on top of that. So I get it. Yeah, it was just, I'm like, Fleeting Life. And it came up, but then it like said The Fleeting Life. And I'm like,
That's so silly.
I wonder if this is the fucking... But then I was like, went to your social media and then I seen the Perma Death thing. I was like, okay, this is the right thing that I'm looking up or whatever.
Word.
It's silly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my bitch is, and I've bitched about this before, but this is why I have a podcast so I can bitch when I want. But like there's this band from Michigan called Throne. Sick as fuck, right? I mean, but
I think I've heard the name.
And it's like Throne, like sitting on the throne, not like the hardcore band,
right,
the Throne, THROWN, but you can go on their Amazon Music and you're like, okay, fucking sick, Throne. And then you gotta fucking cycle through all these rappers and all these other dudes that name their stuff Throne, but like for some reason on Instagram, I can't be Jay Ingersoll. I got to be Jay Ingersoll, fucking MM45, whatever, because there's other people that have that username. But for some reason, we can release music all under the same name. I'm like, they should fix that. Like, you know, like you shouldn't be, if someone's already got it, you should have to somehow manipulate it. And then it'd be easy for bands too to like automatically be like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't call our band that because we can fucking just change the name or whatever, you know?
We only have like 10 new band names left.
Yeah.
That's why they're putting the MI or like where you're from, like severed ties, MI, Michigan.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why like when new metal was huge and it still is, but like all their bands misspelled all of their names.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
no one's gonna spell corn with a K.
I know I mean,
I would love to see a band Corn spelt with a C.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's a tribute band or something.
Right.
I'm
Yeah,
sure it's
absolutely.
somewhere.
Limp Bizkit with a C.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a kernel of truth in there somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you get into the slam bands too, the organolectomy, vulvolectomy, and all these like, you know, just we're just out of names
Or creating
for
one like Sanguisuga Bog.
Yeah,
it's not even a
just out of
real,
nowhere.
not a real anything.
It's not.
Well,
Just
I think what it's
Yeah.
saying is it's because Sansviska is like a leech, and then Bog is a toilet. It's like a blood sucking toilet.
Yeah, he combining. Yes, that's great.
But I mean, it's a creative way to do it. Those guys are creative anyway. But
Oh no, they sure are.
let's talk about Perma Death. 18 minutes long. I will tell you, jamming this, like I said, it was leaps and bounds from like the singles. I was like, okay, now it kind of sounds like more organic, like a little more like there's more people involved in this. To me, it sounds absolutely fantastic. The fucking production is awesome. The bass tone is killer on this. The playing is fucking super tight on this. Really love the playing on this. And I love the songwriting. That's one thing I'm a sucker for. I'll listen to the most extreme shit. I'll listen to whatever you give me. I've listened to it. I've heard it. It is what it is. And I'd probably like it from whatever you name it. But songwriting is always important. You got to have some callbacks. You know, if you're a grind band, that's one thing. But you got to have some fucking callbacks. You got to have something that when the song is done, I'm like, okay, there's something in my, like an earworm that sticks. So I want to say, whoever's writing these songs, especially on this stuff, like, great fucking job on that. And the drums on this are super tight. I'm assuming that, is it real drums on this?
No.
Okay.
But
well, he's got to play it live. So either way, I'm sure he can fucking play the shit.
Brian plays them.
Yeah. No, so essentially like this EP was, because this is what I was saying earlier, it was just Robbie and I. Robbie's just and it's because everybody came in like a little later or like, you know, but Robbie is like one of the most talented motherfuckers in the world, you know, like all the guitar playing is him, you know, at least again for this one, we're getting ready to go out and it will be all of us together in a room.
Cool.
Steve's recording guitars.
Good.
Him and Robbie and Ryan sitting there for hours working on drums, you know?
Yeah.
So, so I originally hit up Robbie because the original Skull, right? Because we have the new Skull and we have the old Skull.
The old Skull is the one that came out November 13th, 2025 before the EP?
That's the new Skull.
Okay.
Yeah. The one that
I didn't
has
see that one on.
Well,
okay.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm not going to complain about that.
Okay.
Essentially,
Yeah, I didn't see that.
That's our biggest song. Has like 600K. Last I checked, it could have more streams.
Sure.
But you know, I reached out. So Tyler, right? I've Saving Vice is one of my is a big inspiration for me. You know, and like I was a big fan of their band before I got in contact with Robbie or anything. And I had reached out to Tyler to feature on Would You Kindly, you know, and Tyler went to Robbie's studio. They went and tracked it, and Robbie messaged me he was calling me all day, like, "Hey, do you know what key this is in? Do you know this?" I was like, I've had this instrumental for so long, I have no idea."
Right.
But so anyways, at the end of it, he's like, "Listen, man, this is right in my wheelhouse. If I can offer you any service, you let me know." And I was like, "Well, our biggest song is Skull. It's kind of hard for me to listen to nowadays, and honestly, I would really like to you know, revamp it.
Sure.
I'd really like to you know." So that's how I was like, he's like, "Any vision or anything?" I was like, "Listen, I just want you to take this song and let it inspire you. The beginning's got to be the same, but after that, you know, whatever." And I remember getting that instrumental back and just sitting in the back of my work like, oh my God. You know what I mean? So from there is history. Him and I went to his studio, recorded Vampire and Skull, went back to record the rest at a later date.
Okay, so Robbie is the main guy as far as music behind
He is our main producer, pretty much like a sixth member of the band.
Okay, sure. That makes sense. So how are you guys learning these songs? What's your approach on learning these songs before you guys, the next thing?
He essentially gets me MIDI for whatever was used MIDI-wise. If I have a difficult time taking that MIDI and turning it into the part that is on the record, I'll just listen, second by second and tab it out by ear. I haven't had to do that as much as I thought I would, but the MIDI kind of lines up one-to-one with how the guitar tab would have you play it. There's a little bit of adjustments that have to be made because it doesn't completely translate 100% to a very playable format, so you have to kind of tweak up where the notes are sitting at on the stringed instrument in which you're playing.
Sure.
You could have the MIDI translate to it be up high on the neck or down low on the neck, but generally to find the right note that it is actually suggesting you play.
So if you're not a guitar player, and you're using MIDI to learn your stuff, and the MIDI, Guitar Pro is a tool that we use pretty regularly, but it'll say you play this note here. Well, there's also 3 other places where you could play that note that make more sense.
Right.
Yeah. The tab will come. You'll put it in for MIDI, and it'll be 6-string, 32nd fret.
Yeah. It's dumb as shit. And in the before Steve times, it was all just by ear. We would get the produced tracks from Robbie, and then Logan would send them to me. I heard the old Skull first, and I learned that just by ear. And then I'm like, oh, well, we're not playing this one anymore because we have this way better banger that we're gonna do, and so figure that one out by ear. And as a kind of a non-metal musician, that was a challenge. But now, those songs are so much fun to play and to learn. Learning them was incredibly fun. Except for Advent, that one gave me nightmares.
So Robbie, he's not playing guitar on it?
No, he is.
Oh, okay.
So how it works, right, is it's all MIDI'd first. So it's MIDI guitar at first before we go to the studio. And that's mainly so if something's going wrong, if we're we could just we're in a different key now. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Where if we recorded
around and shit.
Yeah, if we recorded live guitars, then we're locked into that key. Yeah, you're locked.
Yep.
But it's mainly so if there's anything we want to change. So it's essentially it's all MIDI'd out first. It's all how do you feel about this? Oh, maybe we could do this. Maybe we could do that. Cool. You know what I mean? So it's just a lot easier to mess with and then record after.
Okay.
So yes, the guitars are real. The bass I do not believe is though.
Okay.
But I do believe, I know for a fact the rhythm and lead guitars are real.
Okay, cool. I just know we've come so far, and they have all of these programs now. Then even some of this MIDI guitar is starting to sound pretty good too. Where any guy that can program shit can program guitar too.
Yeah, 100%.
So I just didn't know if he was programming guitar.
Program your fingers to play the damn guitar.
Right.
No. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
When I send demos to Robbie, Steve and I have been cooking up some demos, and it's all in MIDI, so that when we get to the studio, it can be very quick. He's cool, this is what it looks like, this is how the song's going to be, you know what I mean? And he's how do you feel if I move this here? So it's just a lot easier of a process than us being in there and kind of banging our heads.
Yeah, and then having to play it a million times before it's right too. I understand that completely.
Yeah,
just a workflow thing. It sounds like.
Yeah. Robbie is a fan of not wasting time.
No, I get that. Yeah. So if you're a busy guy and you're doing shit, yeah, I get it. So this bust out with Advent, the song that you keep alluding to, Seer. When I first started hearing this, I was like, okay. Fleeting Life is now on my radar because this is more my shit right here. I was like, this motherfucker, great riffs to start. I love the blasting part, of course, because I'm just, give me some blasting. That's what I want to hear. I put Tight as Fuck on the drums. I didn't know if it was a drummer or not, but that's the great thing about
I would say live it's tight too.
Yeah, exactly.
Ryan's got it down.
Yeah. Vocal layers on this are awesome.
Thank you.
Another great thing you're awesome at, and all the singles and with this, is dynamics. I think that's a big thing with metal, is having some of those dynamic breaks and everything, because if you're just playing 25 minutes straight of distorted heavy shit, it just kind of gets lost in the ether and everything sounds exactly the same and there's no ebb and flow to the music.
100%.
And then the end of this song is absolutely fucking sick too. Fucking awesome song in that. Probably one of my faves.
That's awesome.
The hardest one we play live, but it is the one we get people, that one sticks with people. It's so different from everything else on the album or on the EP, and it's my favorite one on the EP, honestly.
Yeah, see, that was the beautiful thing about when the EP was all said and done. Every single band member had a different song that was their favorite, which was good because if everyone was like, "Oh, it's this one," then that means the rest are like lesser. But like every single person in the band had a different song that they liked more.
Sure,
you know.
Yeah. But yeah, I was just like, okay, this is when I said, I was like, the band took leaps and bounds different. I mean, even if you said Robbie was involved with the other shit before too, right? Like,
not before this EP, no.
Okay, gotcha. So that was different people working on it then. Okay, cool.
And some of the
that's why it's the same but different.
Yeah, I was gonna say because some of the instrumental, so like some of these like Advent, for example. So like when Robbie and I were first starting out, I was like kind of scared to send him demos because being with the new producer and stuff.
You are your own worst enemy.
Exactly.
Too.
I just didn't feel like he would like, because he's like, obviously I get new skull back. It's like the craziest thing I ever heard.
Sure.
I just didn't think he'd give a shit about my demos. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Advent was because like I had him ghostwrite 2, which they're on ice. They're not here yet. They will be, but those 2 songs. So like the third one I sent was Advent, and I sent him like, I was like, yeah, it's not the whole song or anything, but this is kind of my idea. He's like, Logan, why don't you send me more demos? He's like, this is great. He's like, this is because like that song besides the intro bit did not change.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or I mean, a little flows or whatever, but the main structure and everything. And it was like the first minute and a half of the song, or and so after that, everything that has been worked on has been like a demo I sent.
Okay. Cool.
Demos that we've been working on.
All right, then we go into Parasomniac. This was interesting just because of the rapping on it.
Yeah.
But it's done well because to me, rap metal's hard to do. I've heard it done a lot, and 75% of it's bullshit because it just doesn't sound cohesive. It doesn't sound good. Either the rapper sucks or it's too metal, or it's a hard thing to do. But you do a very good job on this one. And it's done really well, and the rapper is good on this, and the metal parts are great, and they're a very, very black and white, so to speak, kind of back and forth, and it goes really good. And the beat, the actual rap beat that's in it is fucking super sick because I fucking love rap beats. So, if they're good.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about this and.
Yeah. So, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say now, are we doing this one live?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. Who's rapping?
That'd be me.
Okay.
But the old school, because that's actually an OG instrumental of ours that Robbie did not change. He liked it that much that like it's exactly the same as it was before.
Okay.
And we got Black Cat Bill, which is the rapper from Dropout Kings.
Oh, okay, sick.
Yeah,
Those
so
guys
he's the
awesome.
one. Yeah, he's the one rapping.
Okay,
on it.
okay.
And
that's why it's good.
I remember. Yeah, we were sitting there. We were sitting there like in the studio, and I remember just showing Robbie, and he's like, "He's so fucking good, man." I was like, "I know." Like, I literally the first time I got it, I was like, "Oh my god," you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So no, Black Cat really did like he really pulled his weight on this one, and I think that like the dynamic, the back and forth, I think it really came out super cool. And even Robbie is always talking about that one specifically.
Yeah, that's a sick one. Now, how do you guys feel about that as far as like the rap being involved in it?
I think it's very different, and I like it a lot.
Okay, cool.
Logan throws down.
Okay. Cool. I was just wondering.
The energy for that song when we do it live is a lot of fun too. Like Logan kind of changes for that song. If you ask me,
completely.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is they're behind because of course they're not really playing a lot of instruments.
Yeah.
So they're behind me. Like Jordan and Calen are both like doing gang vocals and like
sick.
yelling with me and like So it's like that song because it's like right in the middle. It's a total pace changer and people are like I'm always like. I'm going to prove to you that we're a versatile band. And everybody in the crowd, because again, you're not at this metalcore show to see a rap, like a rap song like that. But everybody's always moving. Everybody loves that song, and that's what's cool is like, like I was saying earlier, I just really like the different, like every song's different.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a cool song. So, and then we go into Skull. I know we talked about this, and you said the new one was awesome. I love the riffs on this one, and your chorus is super strong. Love the singing chorus on this. You are our killer vocalist, dude. You do an awesome fucking job with all the different vocals.
Man. Thank you.
But you don't overdo it too, because sometimes I won't say this again on the show, but sometimes it just some of these vocalists, man, just shut up for a second, man. Like, let someone else do something, you know? This new music just kills me because the vocalists never shut the fuck up. It's like, dude, there's other people in your band. Like, you don't have to sing over every part. So you do a good job picking and choosing, letting the music stand out, you know, giving it dynamics.
That's definitely like, not that I wouldn't do that naturally anyways.
Sure.
But that's definitely like a Robbie, like sit down and like, you know, because there's a lot of spots. He's like, cool, this spot here, you know, and there's times, we'll talk about it in Vampire, but there was like a whole break there. He's like, Logan, I want you to sing here. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Okay. We were like crunch time at the end. I was like, we'll figure it out.
Yeah. Okay. And then I know you guys didn't play on this, but the dual guitar parts are super cool on this one. Like with like one's playing a rhythm and the other one's kind of playing a lead underneath, or, you know, like the counter melodies on this one. Super fucking cool on that.
It hits my ear every time.
Yep. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yep.
And then it's super strong, like you said, when you say, I think you say something about bullet in the motherfucking skull or something like that, right? So it's like kind of catchy. You know what I mean?
It's meant to punch you in the face right away. It's meant to be like, because that's a song idea I had when I was literally like 17.
Sure.
I was like, I would love to have a song just start with, I want to put a bullet in my fucking, and then skull breakdown. And I had that was like the first idea I ever had for a song.
Okay.
Or, well, that's probably not true, but you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I get it.
It's
that was fleshed
the one
out
that lived.
Yeah. Okay.
To see the band.
Oh, yeah. Were you going to say something, Jeff? Oh, okay. And then we go into Would You Kindly. Love the intro sample on this, and then like the alarm clock there, and then the riff that comes in right after. It's really good. Again, super strong chorus on this. And I love how the alarm clock kind of goes through. I just call it the alarm clock. It's like on Discord.
Yeah, like it's a submarine alarm.
Oh, is it?
No, it's guitars.
But
it's symbolizing.
It's a mimic because it's another. Yeah, it's.
Is it BioShock theme?
Correct.
Okay, sure. Because I noticed the samples says something about the sisters, and I think that's from BioShock. Right?
Yeah. So the beginning sample is actually the conversation right at the beginning that Jack's having with himself.
Okay.
You know.
Yep.
Because there is a little sister sample later in the song.
Yep. That's the one I'm talking about. That one. Yeah.
But this one was also produced by Alex first. That instrument, because that's what got me in contact with Saving Vice and that crew. Right. Okay. Was this song?
Okay.
And I remember telling Alex, I was like, yeah, you know, if you can give me some like alarms at the beginning, you know, something like, oh shit's about to go down, you know. And I remember just getting it back, and it's like the guitars. I was like, oh, that was such a good idea.
Well, it's cool how it carries throughout too, and then like you guys kind of go into like a heavier breakdown part-ish, and it's still kind of going in the background, you know. So it's like a nice little motif throughout the whole song that
100%.
Ties it all together, you know, without being overused or annoying, you know. So super cool. And then we go into Vampire. I know you said you had something to say about this one, but this one was super cool to me too, how it sounds basically like fucking Castlevania. And then when it comes in, like the song fucking goes over the top of it, and it fits with that melody perfectly over the top. I was like, that fucking chef's kiss on that, because sometimes it's hard to, it's like what came first, you know?
So this is actually, because this one was Alex too, because this is all like stuff I got before I went to New York and stuff like that. And I remember, because like the songs are a bit different than what they were when I got them from Alex. Like Robbie put his spin on it, added some little leads and things like that, you know. But that song in particular was one of the only ones I've ever voiced exactly how I wanted it to go from start to finish. Okay. Of like sense of like a wedding, or like, you know, organs like a wedding, and then it turns into like the transformation. Now it's vampire. You know what I mean? And like literally, I voiced out every single thing. I'm thinking of a riff. Okay. Like literally, I voiced it all out. It was like a 10-minute audio clip, and he gave it back to me. You know, and it was exactly what I was like. This is even better than I could have imagined. Like the way that the chorus runs, the way that the synths are, like it just, it's honestly like so cool. And then Robbie changed it to a harpsichord, that little, you know, so it's.
Yeah, I liked it, and then it, like kind of like I said, it carries throughout over the music, or like under the music, and as it changes, I was just like, man, that's fucking cool. And there's some scratches in this, like fucking DJ scratches or some kind of.
No, so that's actually
guitar.
The guitar. It's okay, cool.
Ghost notes, right?
Okay, cool.
Is that what you call that, or is it
pinch harmonics?
Oh no, I'm sorry. I just put the riff with the scratches, so I guess there isn't DJ scratches. I was talking about the
pinch harmonics.
Yeah.
Well, no, we're talking about or it's like in the second.
Yeah, it's the X's on the tablature.
Yeah. It's on the second. It's on the second. The villagers say that.
Yeah, the Megadeth Train of Consequences. Fucking get that scratchy type thing.
Get it.
Yeah.
No, that part hits my ears every time.
I didn't
that's
quite
cool.
get that. What did you say?
The outro is super sick, and the fucking like at the end too, where it like cuts out and cuts back in, like the stops. That's really fucking cool.
As Robbie's
That
idea.
almost didn't happen. Yeah, that was
I was like
idea.
kind of against it at first. Like I was like, because like when I went into the there's like a lot of things where working with a producer, you know, Robbie's shooting down a lot of ideas at the beginning because of course I don't know what he's looking for and like, you know, but I remember I was like, the only thing I care about is at the end of Vampire, I just want to be like, you make me want to fucking bleh. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we always try to do like unique blaz. Like I think the use of blaz is so like boring, you know, and I when it's used, you know, I like for it to be used creatively, you know, like using it as a term for like throwing up or whatever, like using it as a lyric rather than a sound.
Just a noise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I remember that was like my whole thing. And like you get the demo and the demo doesn't have the skipping, you get married to it, you're like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Or not the demo, but like the finished recording or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, and then he sent me that first one with the like skipping. I was like, nah, I don't know how I feel about this. And like, you know, band's like, dude, it's super sick.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And then my mom, you know, and she's like, no, you got to keep that. And I was like, all right.
Yeah, it's just one of those things when, like I said,
no, and now I would never go back.
Yeah,
like I love it the way it is.
When the song's done, you're just kind of like, oh, that fucking stuck right in my ear, especially because it's towards the end or whatever. But I'm assuming like live, you guys just them are just more tight stops.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
because it's on the
we slam that noise gate down and
because on the music you can tell it's just like chopped out basically just because of how fucking tight and silent it goes or whatever. And so I imagine that's just tight.
Yeah, I say even live, I do the cutting out myself in the like bleh.
Okay.
It gasses me sometimes, but it's fucking sick.
That's awesome. Well, man, it's a banger of an EP. So let's just talk about like what the band is kind of looking like now, because it sounds like a lot of producer stuff, but it sounds like now that we're a unit and we're doing things, how is the writing process now, and what does the next steps look like?
Yeah. So as of right now, Steve and I have been like working on demos together, getting ready for studio time in late July. But it depends. Like sometimes we do it virtually. Or I guess we've only really done it virtually, haven't we?
Yes.
So yeah, we kind of sit together, and we're like, we start off. Usually, I like to start with synths. I usually, you know, it depends on what we're doing. You know what I mean? But we, for the most part, it's Steve and I kind of like sitting with the MIDI. He'll sit with his guitar, right, and he'll like, I'll write out some drums, right, and then he'll take it, listen to it, and then like write a riff, and then transcribe it, or like he'll tell me what he's playing, and I'm like, cool, pop it in the MIDI. And then we continue on, you know. And the last demo we cooked up is honestly like, I'm like, whoa, this is fucking good.
I really liked how that came out.
Yeah.
So how are you approaching it, Steve, especially compared to like the things that you noodle with or write? I mean, how is this different for you?
It just trying to cook in the style that I'd like to bring to the table for a metalcore project, and then trying to meet what the group's needs are halfway. Pretty much try to do that. I try to do that in demos that I write entirely from start to finish. And sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't really work. But we got to know like what doesn't work, so that we know how to kind of fine tune it a little bit. But I really enjoy collaborating with Logan. I think we have a more cohesive idea at the end of it, or through and through, than writing a whole demo by myself.
Yeah, the last one, because it's like the perfect mix of like my writing style and his writing style, where it's like got my bass, but it has his nice little like lead licks in there, and like those things that like I noodle around with the guitar, but I'm definitely not a guitar player.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like when I'm writing guitars, they're pretty like basic. You know what I mean?
You're getting the general idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just following the drums and boom, we're good to go, you know, where he's adding like these little like, not off time, of course, but like
little flourishes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And like it adds so much to it. And it's like, you know, it's really cool to be writing together. Just because for the most part, I've done it myself for a long time, you know, and not just like, I'm not taught like before band and stuff like that, you know?
Sure.
So it's really cool to like have somebody who knows what they're doing, guitar wise,
Yeah.
you know, do it. Because like I would be like, oh, dude, this sounds great. Send it to Robbie. He's like, you are not a guitar player. That makes no sense. You know.
So now, Sierra, are you getting involved in any writing, or are you guys letting?
Steve's doing most of the heavy lifting on the writing stuff. So when all of us head to New York, my role is going to be kind of more backing up Logan on vocals for the new stuff coming out. And then Steve and I will be working together on writing some of the guitar parts together, what makes sense for each one of us to play, that kind of stuff. So,
and then the other guys are just kind of playing their role then, or
same. So yeah, because we haven't really. The thing is our Sundays, because we are a very busy band.
Sure,
you know, whether it's content, whether it's whatever, you know, our Sundays, which is our band practice day, has become very like the idea of being able to write on a Sunday is almost like non-existent with how much other shit we have going on, you know. And I would like to like sit down and like get everybody's opinion, or we always get everyone's opinions on it,
right?
But more so, like I would like to sit down and be like, "Hey, Ryan, you take the lead. How do you want the drums to go here?
Sure.
Hey, how do you feel about this?"
Yeah.
But like with our schedules, with our times, it's really hard to like make it work the way I'd like it to. And not to say like obviously if everybody's like, "Hey, can we start writing a bit more?" I'd be like, "Yeah, get in here."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, it's just kind of like Steve's always, "Dude, we gonna write?" I'm like, "Hell yeah!"
Yeah.
So also getting
getting
5 people all at the same time, like
just
to write
and
at the
distance
same
wise
time.
for you guys.
Oh,
you
yeah,
guys are
it's-
pretty far apart.
It would not be as productive as like having a handful of us or 1 or 2 of us come with something already kind of made and then work on it from there. You know,
Yeah, that's where you just put the egos aside and say this is all of our thing, and we'll
there's
just
no room for
figure it out.
ego.
Yeah, exactly.
Anywhere.
You
No
know,
room for
and,
ego
100%.
anywhere.
and that's just like, okay, that's not my idea, but it's sick as fuck. Let's play it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's kind of like,
And if somebody
you know,
like, there's definitely been times where like send a demo, you know, Jordan pitches an idea, like I really think this would be cool here. I'm like, oh, okay, you know, try it out. I'm like, yeah, that's sick.
Right.
You know, and sometimes it
might just be a little salt
yeah.
and pepper on.
Sometimes
the-
it's
yeah.
garbage.
That-
Like,
Well, that's what I was. That's exactly what I was getting ready to say. Sometimes it's the other way around. Where I'm like,
that's nice, sweetie. We won't
Yeah.
use it.
You're like, thanks for the wreck, but that's okay. Moving on.
We'll file that one away.
Yeah, exactly. One thing I didn't ask, and I just want to backtrack a little bit
Sure,
because I
sure.
do want to ask this. You know, the Perma Death has the arcade machine on the front, and we talked about Would You Kindly having like the BioShock theme,
Yep.
and then the vampire to me kind of leaned towards Castlevania. Well, were all the songs like relevant to some kind of video game type thing?
How I
or-
write this comes from like Tyler Small. He really taught me a lot when it came to lyrics. Because, you know, when I was first going to the studio, right, it was really kind of feeling like a job almost when I'm trying to write these lyrics. And I'm like, you know, because of course, Robbie's a pretty big stickler about lyrics. Because, I mean, obviously you should be. They're very important.
Yeah.
You know, but it just felt like I was like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. And essentially, or not know what to say, but essentially everything I said, he's like, no, that doesn't make sense.
It's
No, it's not
you're
good.
your own worst
You know?
enemy. That's
Well,
always.
yeah.
And so essentially, like through Tyler, Tyler, how he writes his things, and this is how I do it now too, right? But essentially, he uses these stories, he uses these things that inspire him to tell his story. So it's something like it's not a song that's out right now, right? But like Remind, for example, it's a song that's like based on like a lot of it is taking inspiration from Kingdom Hearts,
Okay,
right?
sure.
But it's about my battle with dissociation disorder.
Hey guys, just want to jump in here real quick and remind you that on August 14th and August 15th, Michigan Metal Fest is happening at the Lila Arboretum in Battle Creek, Michigan. This is a 2-day fest. On Friday, you got Green Jelly, Psycho Stick, and Crossbreed headlining, and a handful of others. And then on Saturday, you got 2 stages. On the fountain stage, you got Monochromatic Black, Hemlock, Rose Funeral, Gore Pig, just to name a few, and a few bands that have been on the show like Ghost in Motion, Let It Rot, and some others. And then on the main stage on Saturday, you got the X-Faces, the Killer's Confession, and Ventana as your headliners. You also got Casket Robbery that's been on the show, and Kill Crown that's also been on the show, and a handful of others. So 2 days of awesome metal. Make sure you go over to MichiganMetalFest.net, get your tickets and your VIP packages and all your awesome merch that they have over there. So August 14th, August 15th, Lila Arboretum, Battle Creek, Michigan Metal Fest. Check it out.
So like every single lyric on there is like, you know, I've been having thoughts like I'm a nobody. You know, is any of this real? Just another facade. It's like all things that like people who have never played Kingdom Hearts are going to be like, oh, I see what he's saying there. People who have played Kingdom Hearts are going to be like, that's fucking dope.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And like, that's the whole idea is you want to make sure that everybody, because the second I'm like, I'm Sora, people are going to be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the, that's really the philosophy is like, I take games, inspiration. Because that's what I'm not really a TV show guy. You know, I play games in my like free time, but essentially it's like giving me a inspiration and a love for writing music that I never really had before. You know, like, of course, if I had to get something out, I'd get something out.
Sure.
But like now I can like play a game and be like, oh, dude, the this and this go so well together and this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just makes me want to write.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Instead of trying to force something or come up with something. Yeah, definitely the inspiration is.
Correct.
Okay. Cool.
One other thing real quick.
Yeah,
Can we
go ahead.
talk about your guys, the music video you guys just shot?
Vampire?
Yeah.
Sure.
Sure. What do you, like, who came up with the idea? Who's doing the directing of it?
Yeah. So Portia and Paul from,
Full Send.
yeah, thank you. I was like, I don't know why I was
Full
tripping up
Send
on that.
Studios.
Full Send Studios. They are out of Flint, I believe. Super nice people. And it's kind of like I'm just a very big like I trust. You know, I'm like, listen. The only thing I care about is I want to puke blood at the end. That was the whole idea when the song was being written.
We didn't even use props for that.
Right.
That was a joke.
But
Was this but this was the only song you were like, let's shoot a video for this song?
no, well,
Okay.
and Skull too.
Okay.
They did both.
Okay.
But and it's the same thing with Skull where I was like, I trust you guys. This is your guys' like this is what you do. You know what I mean? Listen to the song, see what you think what fits best, and we'll run it. You know? I haven't really vetoed. We only shot 2 videos, but I didn't veto anything they said. I was like, yep, makes sense to me. You know what I mean?
They're both good, yeah.
Where did you go to shoot it?
So actually, Vampire was shot in Henderson Castle, Kalamazoo.
Okay.
Skull was shot in like
Some warehouse outside of Flint.
it was like in a
okay.
basement somewhere.
It was an old building. Like if it had it been brand new, it would have been a very beautiful building.
Okay.
You know, but it
definitely was not brand new.
No, it was being used as like storage for just everything in there was covered in dust. Like the vibe was really good.
Yeah, no,
You know,
it
But it was
led
like,
to a
there was
very simple
asbestos
video.
on the floor and like that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Just walking with masks. We've got to shoot this real quick before we
Track something.
have to call one of the 1-800 numbers.
I say, but I will say it was a nice place. The space like fit the vibe perfectly, you know. And of course, our first music video shoot, we're walking with a bunch of people we don't know into like this basement warehouse.
Yeah.
But no, they're all like Portia, Paul. They're super nice people. And very good at what they do.
Cool. So I'm not hearing a whole lot of practice together then.
Oh, we practice every Sunday together.
Every Sunday.
Okay, you do. You guys make the hall and actually practice in the room?
Yeah, so
You just don't jam a lot in the room. And when I say
No.
jam, like come up with parts, I'm saying you
not
guys
really.
just rehearse.
correct.
Okay.
I do noodle around a whole bunch if people aren't ready and or I show up early and there's like 30 minutes to spare of like playing. There's a little bit of practice
That was-
and noodling and stuff.
Yeah.
That was another one of the hurdles before the band started was finding a practice space. So, because none of us had a drum kit or anything, I managed to snag just a cheap drum kit and PA system off Facebook Marketplace, you know, and I'm like, hey guys, we can practice now. It's a piece of shit, but we can at least play together and
Right.
start making some music.
Yeah.
And so now every Sunday, Logan comes in from Leonidas and Steven comes in from Muskegon. Kyle comes up. Kyle, who the fuck is Kyle? Ryan comes up just a little ways from my house in Kalamazoo, and Calen usually rides with Logan.
Yep.
We all go up to
Calen's
my
from
house.
Boston.
I've got a drum kit set up in my basement. I've got the mixer there. I've got a PA set up, and we run through stuff. And
Yeah, I've practiced in spaces as big as this.
Yeah.
but
So
now-
practicing there is nice.
Yeah, like my basement is not huge, but like we can fit 5 guys in there.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
we're
That's
not
the biggest
bumping into
practice
each
space
other.
I ever saw.
Yeah, and the ceiling is tall enough.
Yeah.
It's the best practice
No, so
space
yeah,
I've ever
we
practiced in.
practice.
Okay, cool.
We have our weekly like hey, this is how everything's going. This is, what we're working towards next.
Yep.
This is the next show.
Sure.
This is how we should practice for XYZ,
Okay.
So like
cool.
we get together once a week.
Okay, that's good to hear because it seems like there's a lot of writing going on in your own time, and then you kind of then at least you guys get to reherse, and that's
Yeah,
cool.
we'll bring
that's
it, show the class, or we'll send
Yeah.
it in like the group chat depending on what time's looking
Yeah.
like. Like if we wrote it on a Saturday, I'd just be like, yeah, we'll show the boys tomorrow.
tomorrow.
You
Yeah,
know.
Okay.
If it's on a Monday, I'm like, well, I'll just send it to them now. I don't want to sit on it.
Okay. Cool. So let's talk about some shows.
Yeah.
You guys said you just played Friday?
Yeah, Friday.
What's on the docket then as far as shows and
Well,
because you guys just did a tour here like what a month
Last
or two
month.
ago?
End of
Right?
April. End of
Yep.
April,
Yeah.
you guys went out.
that was super fun.
Midwest Melee.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Who was that with and what did that look like?
So it was with our friends in Sworn to None.
Okay.
Super cool people.
Where are they from?
They are from Wisconsin.
Okay.
I don't want to. It's like some of them are from Wisconsin, some are from Illinois. I couldn't tell you their exact like central
Sure.
where they say they're from. I think Madison, but I don't.
Okay.
I don't want to say and be wrong. So,
Sure, absolutely.
but
Not from Michigan, we'll just say that.
yeah,
The
Kieran
Midwest.
used to be in another band. And I met that other band through another band that I was in.
Mhm.
And him and I were just talking, and he's like, "Dude, we should do a run. We should do a run." And I was like, "That makes all the sense, all the sense in the world to me." So we started like figuring it out. We're like, April makes the most sense. Yada yada yada. You're setting up promoters and all that. Which setting up like because now we're in a good spot. We've made some connections from like people kind of all over the place. But at the time when we were setting that up, no connections anywhere. It was like I emailed 50 places, and then 2 days, none of them emailed me back. I got to message their Facebook page. Oh, sorry.
No, you're good.
But so it but yeah, setting it up the first time was real rough. Should be a lot easier moving forward.
Okay. So touring is something that's on the docket and that's something we all want to do then.
Oh, 100%.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
No, it was a beautiful experience too. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, like, because, ever since I was a kid, I wanted to tour.
I get
You
it.
know?
Yeah.
And so, like, setting it up and, like, because that's the thing is, like, early on, it unfortunately won't just land in your lap. You got to, like, talk to all these people. You got to make it happen, But the work was definitely worth, or, the payout was definitely worth the work.
Yeah.
Is everybody available
I
to
got
like
you.
go tour for like extended period of time, more than 4 days, like you guys did?
It depends on, like, the timing situations, because sometimes yes, sometimes no, but yeah, it just depends. But we're not making big baller money yet.
At some point, we'll just be able to do this full time.
Yeah.
There you
and
go.
then we'll tour whenever the frick we want.
Yeah. I mean, that's always the goal, right? I mean,
Yeah.
take it
100%.
serious and
Yeah.
fucking everybody's
It's
on the
gonna
same
happen.
page.
It's
Yeah.
gonna happen.
No,
Yeah.
very, very serious. I spend every day working on this band.
Yeah.
So the boys too.
That makes sense. Yeah, because like touring, and especially just because you book a show, don't mean people will show up, especially if you're not from around there or whatever. So sometimes, was there like local support on some of these shows,
on
like
all of
too,
them.
to try to get people at least exposed to fleeting life? Or,
Yeah. No, because that's the point of it at the beginning. It's
Yeah.
mainly the connections. Like, some of the shows might have been smaller as far as turnout's concerned, but every single show we made a connection, whether it was with a band, whether it was with promoters for
Promoter,
other. Yeah,
Mhm.
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, we made a connection, and that whole tour was worth it. Whether we played to one person or whether we played to the Fort Wayne show was massive, or I shouldn't say massive, but like 100, 200 people.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, big for a band
Local
that's
show,
only
yeah.
just put out an EP and
Yeah.
kind of getting their bearings about it.
I'd say it was a
Sure.
big event, but yeah, it worked out well for us.
And then what about like local shows? So, I know what'd you say you played Ohio Friday? I'm sorry. Was
Yeah,
that-
we were in Akron, Ohio.
Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
Was that just some homies or something that you knew down there? or
So
whatever?
Joe from Fault of the People,
Okay.
he reached out to us and was like, "Hey, it's Nameless Fest down there," and
Okay.
essentially they were like, "Hey, they're looking for a band. Do you guys open?" I was like,
Okay.
"You know what I mean?"
Yeah.
Message the boys, everybody's
Yeah.
down. So that's what that's how that happened. And then Fault played the day after, so we stayed and like hung out with them. And,
Fault of the people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, but what about like local shows or Michigan shows?
Yeah.
Because I know you played, like I said, the one I know that you played was something for the Metal Fest or Bloodlust Media.
Yeah, we played
something like
Metal
that.
Family Gathering.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
And then you guys let's talk about the Brutal Fest, because I'm going to put this out beforehand.
Sure.
I'm going to have to squeeze it out, but because I think that's June 21st?
7th.
27th. All right, cool. That gives me a little more time then. But yeah, just tell me about that, how you got involved in that, and why
Yeah,
that's
so-
a good fit for you guys.
So our very first show, we played with Saving Vice, right? They were in town. We were like, we got to get on the show.
We
got to get on
freaking
the show.
scrambled.
Yeah, we
Like,
did. But we got it figured out, and we played with Saving Vice. And it was so, that whole night was so chaotic, you know. But we essentially, Scott was running the show that night, and he's Scott and Steve.
Scott Hakes.
Yeah.
Scott Hakes, Steve Maple.
Scott was the one promoting that show that night, and he was just like, dude, you guys are awesome, like, you know. And so essentially, like, and he was like, I'm going to do everything in my power to get you guys on something this year, you know.
Okay.
And not even like 2 weeks later, you know, he's like, hey, you want Brutal? And I was like, yeah.
That's
You
cool.
know.
Yeah, I was just talking to Steve, and he was just talking about like a lot of the bands that you choose, especially for the like Michigan Metal Fest or the Brutal Fest or whatever. Like he wants bands that are out there hustling and grinding and wanting to do it or whatever. So that's a big kudos to you guys that, you know, you guys' name got brought up, because he's like, you know, there's a million bands, you know, there's so many bands doing things, but you want those right bands that are, you know,
100%.
trying to fucking push forward and like be out there in everybody's faces all the time and like really make something happen. Because then you're only scratching each other's back at that point. You know, there's a lot of hobby bands and shit, or bands that aren't, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, that'd be a cool experience. It looks like a dope place, that Territorial Brewing. I don't know if you guys had seen any of the pictures or anything.
I'd say
Largest beer garden in the States,
Yeah.
I guess.
I'd say
I'm
I
excited
went-
about that.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, you're good.
But I went, because I met Steve over there to get tickets for Brutal.
okay.
I don't even remember how long ago that was. But and so he was like, yeah, this is where it's going to be. I was like, really? I was like, this is awesome. He's like, yeah, we're sitting in the VIP area right now. I was like, oh. He's like, this is where it'd be all day. I was like, I love that.
Yeah.
And you had like a perfect view of both stages. It was like,
yeah.
no, that place is super sick. And I mean, of course, I haven't seen it all done up and everything, but it'll be fun.
Who's headlining that? Filth, I think? Or...
Filth on the first stage, Nailbite on the second.
Okay, cool. Oh yeah, I know you kind of said something about some horror stories on your. I don't usually always ask this, but you said some horror stories on the shows, because I mean, fucking, that's the show life, man. Like it's tough sometimes. Not everything goes exactly the way you want it to go, but you had mentioned it, so you might as well.
I got two good ones for you.
Yeah.
Or if you want to say the first show, Jordan, I'll say what happened in Wisconsin.
We've had two or three. Oh, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So I have two horror stories that, for me specifically anyway, luckily I was prepared for one of them and mediated the other. So during one of our shows at the Music Factory, I think it was like the second or third time we played there, Music Factory in Battle Creek.
Yeah.
We're playing through, and I go hard when I play, like I'm throwing my body around, I'm doing all kinds of stuff. I've hit him with my guitar neck a couple of times.
They all have started to now.
And if the lowest string on my guitar, the fat boy, that one decided to snap right in the middle of a song.
I forgot about that.
And that was fun, because that's like that's what I use most of the time. And it was during our song, another OG old song called "Entities from the Shallows," with JT Torres on it. Is that his name?
Toles. From Famous Last Words.
From Famous Last Words, yeah. So right in the middle of that song, and I'm like, oh, great. Well, I guess I'll just play the rest of this riff without any beef to it. And he's playing lead parts, and so he's not adding anything either. And
you're like, I hope that the bass holding this down here.
Yeah, and so, but luckily there was a spot in the middle of that song where it's just, I hear their whispers, and it's like noties. It's just like this, and so I'm like throwing my guitar off, and I'm running off stage. I'm grabbing a spare that I just happened to bring. And I'm like singing and changing this guitar out, mid-set. And I'm like, all right. And then nobody was none the wiser. And they all thought it was part of the thing, even though my freaking string was hanging off the end of my guitar. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
That'll happen. That's why you always got to have that other one there.
Yeah. And then the other one was we were in this competition. I can't remember the name of the radio station that put it on. A Scary
106.1.
106.1. And so it was a Battle of the Bands type thing. First time we played Advent. Was at this thing, and I at the time, before we were using the interface for all the plugins and our guitar sounds and stuff, I was using a multi effects pedal of Valaton GP200, decent sound, got the job done,
Sure.
But I fat fingered Can you fat finger a pedal with your foot?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
Fat footed.
I fat footed the pedal. Fat footed the pedal, and I put it into like some setup mode.
Oh fuck.
And so I'm like, what the fuck? I don't have any sounds, and I'm looking down at my pedal, and it's all like
Flashing lights and fucking
just all solid lights. I'm like, these should be different colors.
Yeah.
And it's the first time we played Advent, which I mentioned earlier, has scared the shit out of me just to play anyway. And so I'm like sweating bullets already, but I can't let anybody know anything's wrong. And so I'm like still going, and then I'm like squatting down, and I'm like, fucking fix this. Just ended up having to reboot the whole thing mid-song, came back in. I'm like, damn, like Jesus Christ.
No, that show was so funny because there was
so
there was
chaotic.
fires happening. I always say it's like the Spider-Man where it's like, you got Stan Lee sitting there with his headphones on. Spider-Man and Lizard are fighting behind him. I'm sitting here like enjoying my time, and there's fires and everything happening behind me. Like Ryan's kit fell apart, and he's sitting there holding his snare and smacking it with his other hand, and I'm just like
doing my thing.
Yeah.
It was so, like I get off stage. I was like, that was awesome, guys. And Ryan's like, oh my god. And as Steve, everybody's like, oh my god, what the
bet
fuck?
on this?
And I was just like, really? I thought we did all right.
Yeah.
A lot of times too, I've noticed, playing live and shit, that shit happens, strings, whatever, hit the wrong thing. Our last show, I have one of those pitch pedals, and Larry stepped on it, and so I'm like, why does my guitar sound weird? And I'm trying to figure out what the fuck's going on, like if I'm out of tune or something. Then I realized he stepped on the pitch pedal, and my fucking pitch is all like off or whatever. But then most people don't even really recognize.
No,
that's
it.
happened.
It's just like whatever.
Fat foot my own pedal.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
It's more in your head where you're like, oh, we fucking sucked after that.
I learned,
you got such high expectations for what you do, and you practice so hard to get up there and do your thing, and then shit like that happens.
I learned that lesson really quick,
Yeah.
where we were our first show, because like our first show, we didn't have a click.
Shit show.
We didn't have a click.
No.
And we've only practiced to a click at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, and we have all these tracks so we're like, essentially Robbie's up there because our first show was a Saving Vice, right? He's like, you need help? I was like, yeah, what the hell is going on? And essentially he had to make a call. It was either no prod tracks or no click, and he went with the smarter option, which was no click, which sucked for us. But like us having no prod tracks on our songs would be like,
and it was also so dumb because the fucking fix for that was to just restart Logic.
yeah, it's funny. Because it's our first show, we don't know, right?
Yeah.
You were like, you're in panic mode. I'm in panic mode. Everybody's like, we got to fucking fix this. We're already running late for our set, and the fix was like, turn it off and turn it on again.
No, it was because what happened is at the end, Richard from Fall to the People, he's up there and he's like, dude, there's something wrong. Hold on. And he restarted his laptop. I was like, oh.
And I fucking work in IT, and I didn't fucking think about that.
Yeah, no, it's so funny. The simplest
The first thing you tell people, did you try turning it off? And
Fuck me running.
Nope. They don't do that. So funny. It was so fun. It was just like, I like was like, oh, and then we get back to my place. Same Vice boys are staying at my house. And Robbie's like, fucking with it. And he's like, not gonna lie, man, I think all you had to do is restart it. I was like, he's like, and you got to tell your boys, he's like, whether they find solace or eternal dread from that,
you got to do that.
Yeah. He's like, but that's all it was.
Mixed feelings.
Well, also fucking with a DAW, sometimes it just be acting weird. You're like, what the fuck, man? Like
the last horror story, because it's like really the only other one we got. But we were in Wisconsin, right, playing first day of our tour, and the midway through Parasomniac, right, laptop, like the DAW crashed. And when that happens, all the guitars are gone. Like all you hear is drums, no tracks, no nothing.
Vocals.
But luckily it was
drums.
It was the perfect song for it to happen on. We're at the part at the end where it's literally nothing but like, welcome to my world, bitch. You know what I mean? Where it's just that. So Ryan's sitting here just like drumming, starting it up, and I'm rebooting the laptop while, I'm doing the part. And then get it right back up right in time. We didn't play with the prod tracks anymore, but their guitars were live, so we just like kept it, I muted it, kept the click going.
Now it's a drum solo. Kept going. And
but that's because our first show, right, we're all shitting bricks. We're like, oh my God, everything's horrible. The click's wrong. That show, we're rolling with the punches, everything, we're just like, oh shit, this just happened. And Ryan's,
Oh yeah, that's dope.
No, it's super awesome, man.
Did you have anything for these guys? Jeff?
I guess just what is next for you guys? Is it another EP? Is it a full length? What do you guys think you're gonna do?
We have plans for sure. When we go to the studio, I know we're recording a few singles for sure. And we're going to be working on dropping an album next, like after said singles, or like pretty much get these singles done, work on them, drop them while we're working on the album sort of thing. Keep the relevancy going.
Will those singles be on the full album
No.
then? Or they're just standalone?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Is that just more to involve the other guys?
No,
or to
I mean,
involve Steve
I would
in
say
that?
everybody's here now,
Yeah.
so everybody's involved
Right.
now.
I
You know
get
what I mean?
that.
So singles, album, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We're all in this
Yeah.
together.
But
you
the
know?
next thing will have everybody on it. Is
Correct.
basically what I'm alluding to.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
All the
cool.
singles, all the everything, even the songs that were worked on before that were iced from the EP, you know, will have their input on it and a little more like, you know what I mean? Steve might have some things to change on the guitars, or you know what I mean?
Sure.
We're gonna take some of the lifting off Robbie.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Yeah,
mhm.
absolutely. All right. I know we talk a lot of music on this show, and we talk a lot about music on this show, but you guys do anything besides music? Any hobbies or anything that entertain your time besides fucking just programming and playing? And
I'll let
fucking-
these boys start.
I like to go to the gym
Sure.
after work. It really helps kind of with that music thing. Keeps the dexterity going and the endurance kind of going. Play video games here and there. Really, but a lot of just playing guitar. Really.
Sure. What kind of video games?
Could be first person shooters, could be a horror, survival horror,
just
could be RPG. If some things I like to return to, like the Final Fantasy series or a Kingdom Hearts or, a Devil May Cry. But, Resident Evil, I had to play the last one, because I played all of them and I have to beat that to its total extent so I can be happy and move on and
Yeah.
return to playing guitar like I'm supposed to
I
be.
get that. I just played 4 recently, the remake on. I know I'm a little behind, but I was like, fucking, I love that game anyway.
Fantastic
But I
game.
just replayed did the replay, played it a few times, and I still got to go through the ones after that. But yeah, the fucking Resident Evil rules.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So in my case, like I'm a sucker for romance anime. I watch the sappy romance animes that rip your heart out and stuff, but I'm also a gamer too. But my background, I come from a technical background. In my previous job, I was a hardware and software reverse engineer, and I am cursed with knowledge on how computers and software work.
Okay.
And so I play games on my computer, and I love games, but sometimes, and you can maybe agree that some of that shit is bullshit.
Right.
Some games have some bullshit mechanics and stuff. And so one of my hobbies, I would say, is reverse engineering video games in order to fix the bullshit that I don't like about them so that I can enjoy the game.
So you like mod them?
Yes, but no. It's
Okay.
it's different, but yes.
Okay.
So
That's a little over my pay grade. So.
I'm cursed with knowledge.
Yeah.
Like I see something like, ooh, I could fix this and it would be so much better. And so I go into the game itself and I go into the actual code that's being executed and I
Sure.
change what it is to make the game more fun for me.
Okay.
That I also do.
So you're like fucking Game Genie the guy then.
I am
Game Genie the guy.
I am the game genie. You know, so,
Shoot, new
yeah.
name, the Game
99
Genie.
lives in Mario. Right?
Yeah, that's easy. I can do that in 10 seconds.
That's cool as fuck though.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Never heard that one before. That's fucking sweet. Yeah.
I'm pretty much in the same. I'm in the video game camp. I once upon a time before pre-Robbie, I had a collection worth about like 25,000, in like retro video games and all the way back to NES to now. All rare consoles, all that stuff. Over time, like going to the studio and things, I ended up selling a lot of it, which is hard for me, But ultimately, when I die, those games mean nothing. They'll go to somebody.
Yeah, you can't
where
take
they're
the
selling,
shit with you, bro.
But music carries on.
Yeah, you can
So-
you can leave the music, but if you left the games, it's just going to go in somebody else's basement.
Yeah,
100%.
So that was like, it was the main thing that like, those are my two passions. I love collecting, huge collector. My shelves, I still like, we'll go back to the old pictures of the shelves, be like, damn.
Is it mostly video game stuff that you collect then?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, some people collect toys. Some people I do a little bit of sports cards. I dabble a little bit in sports cards, but
Yeah.
Somehow.
Sometimes, but I dabbled in Pokemon cards a little bit too.
Okay, sure.
But
Oh yeah, Magic the Gathering for me.
Yeah.
okay.
So,
yeah.
But I do. I'm a big, because a lot of my free time nowadays, like I don't have as much as I'd like.
Sure.
Recently, what I've been doing is I've just been going for around 100s on Black Ops 3.
Okay.
Zombies.
Sure.
But those take like bare minimum 4 hours if I'm going for a quick one,
Yeah.
and like the odds of me having 4 hours of free time to just sit there and play zombies is pretty small. And it's cool. I wish I had more time to do some of the things that I'd like to do, go through those 100-hour games that are sitting on my shelf, just waiting for me to play them. But there's like so much other stuff to do. I'm not going to be able to sit down and beat Final Fantasy 9.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? As much as I'd love to.
Cool.
But yeah.
All right, cool. Is there anything that we missed? Is there anything that you'd be remiss if we didn't say about Fleeting Life?
Do you guys have anything?
No.
Okay. Cool. Well, I just want to thank you guys for coming on the show. Appreciate you all. Make sure you guys go and check out
Perma Death.
Perma Death, the EP that's out now. Subscribe to all their shit. Check out the EP. Fucking be on the lookout for the new singles that are coming out and the new album hopefully soon here within the next couple of, I'm assuming, year or so, right? I mean, how things turn around. And then next show is the Brutal Fest, probably that will come out after this one or after this episode. So
and everything else we have going on is unannounced.
Sure. Okay. Totally cool. But I mean,
do the stereotypical band things. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Big things coming. Like
that's all right. You got some shows and you got some material out and shit. So thank you guys so much for coming on the show. Appreciate y'all. And that being said, y'all, much love. Keep it metal.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
Man. Thank you.
Absolutely. Peace.
Yeah, take care.
Thank you so much for checking out the episode. If you're watching on YouTube, please consider hitting the subscribe button. It really helps our channel grow. If you want to be notified when a new episode comes out every Tuesday or a bonus episode, hit that bell so you can be alerted of that. Also, if you're just listening to the show, please consider taking a couple seconds to give us a 5-star review over on your favorite platform. We really appreciate that, and it does go a long way. Share the show with a friend if you discovered a new band or like what we do here. And if you want bonus content and early episodes, you can go over and support us on Patreon to keep this show going and help build this show bigger than what it is. And I really appreciate that. A lot goes into this show, so that helps us out a ton. And if you want to join the community, there's a Discord link below. It's free to join. You can pop on in. We can keep the conversation going over there. Also, shout out to Josh Hibbs and our sponsor, Dave Stark at Stark Realty, for making this show possible. And much love. Keep it metal. Thank you.